It's a good question. It depends on what you want to do, right? It depends on what you want to actually,
Right.
For
example,
pursue.
sorry to interrupt, but this college here has promised to raise their tuition 35% over the next 5 years. 7%.
I mean, it's incredible. I'm going to be honest. In the next 10 years, we're not there yet. These colleges are going to be completely irrelevant.
Absolutely.
AI is going to take away 90% of the jobs, and advanced robotics is going to basically take over the world as we know it. So find something to study and be good at that AI can't do.
Thank you.
It's the best piece of advice I have for young people.
Thank you, Charlie.
Find something to be good at that AI cannot do.
Thank you.
It's a short list, by the way.
Yeah.
Because AI is getting pretty advanced, as you well know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. If you guys disagree, make your way to the front. Thank you.
Hi, Charlie. First, I want to thank you because you're a big reason why Trump won the election in the youth vote. So I just want to thank you for that. Now I know your stance on DEI is, no DEI based on race, religion, ideology, political beliefs, which I 100% agree with. My question for you is, what are your thoughts on DEI I don't know if DEI is even the correct term, but based on context or circumstances. So I just want to use applying to college, for example. So let's say someone like J.D. Vance, who grew up in a very rough circumstance, probably went to an underfunded school, versus just another applicant who maybe went to private school, had more opportunities, had the opportunity to take higher level college courses and succeeded. So on paper, you could say that the one that took harder classes has, more merit. But would you also consider the fact that the other applicant didn't have the opportunity?
On the surface, it sounds good. So number one, this is the way they're getting around affirmative action, is they try to have these what they call context cultural scores, and they try to get around that way. The answer is no, that should have no bearing, because you need to have a system based on excellence, and if you do not, you will then discriminate against people that otherwise are very qualified to be there in those positions. It is not the goal of the institution to try to open the door to as many people as possible. It's to be the most excellent possible institution and be able to protect knowledge and pursue knowledge. That is what the goal of college should be.
But what do you think the best solution is for people that don't have those opportunities to begin with?
I mean, first and foremost, try your best to graduate high school, make the most of your life. Maybe go to two-year college or technical school. I mean, these are just general life advice. I mean, if you want to stay out of poverty, it's not hard in America, by the way. And everyone in this audience, it's not hard. It's very easy to stay out of poverty. You want to know how to stay out of poverty? Don't commit crimes. Get married before you have kids. Get a job, any job. Yeah, exactly. Get a job, any job, right? And be not awful with money. You do those four things, you can stay out of what is classified as poverty in this country.
Okay, just one last point, because I remember you were talking about, or at least I heard that you were talking about, that character can be a part of merit. Could you make the argument that someone has a lot of character if they do come from a harder circumstance and we're still able to
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I think character does matter a lot. How you weigh it in admission process is very complicated, though.
I agree, yeah.
Thank you.
Very complicated.
Appreciate it.
Can
Thank
I get
you.
a hat?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to send greetings from Pastor Jesse as well, from Legacy Family Church. I'm under his leadership. He just says his greetings. But I did have a question. I just wanted to know your stance on tariffs. What would you define a tariff is? And also, what are your thoughts on the tariffs that Trump is doing, he's imposing?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it works. I mean, I think we need an equitable agreement. I will say this. The import tariffs are necessary, and the American people voted for them. The idea is bringing back American manufacturing and try to put America workers first. But if they raise prices, which they might, then they should be pulled back.
Awesome. Would I be able to get a red hat?
Yes, I'll sign it for you too. Thank you.
Yeah, good job, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. I'm a big fan, I would just want to say. And I want to tell you, I was at a protest on Pico, Robertson, which is in LA. The pro-Hamas guys, they came to our neighborhood, to our synagogue, and I got my nose broken. And it was all because of them. And here's my question. My question is, for the people who are Christian, for the people who are Arabs or whatever, and the Jewish people also, how are we supposed to go about all those people that are right in the back right now that are chanting that they want for us to not have a land, for us to not be living comfortable in UCLA campuses and over here, all over. So I'm asking you, how should we go and respond? This is to the Jewish, the Christians, and the Muslims. How do we go about this?
I mean, Israel has to defend its homeland, first and foremost.
But what do we do? What do we do?
I mean, I wouldn't give them too much oxygen, but what we as a... Exactly. What we as Americans need to do is, if any of them participate in flag burning or an anti-American behavior and they're on a student visa, they should be sent back to their country of origin, and they should not be going to school here in the United States of America.
And let me ask you, if someone is saying, because I hear this a lot of Christians say that I'm a Christian, I'm dealing with my own problems, I don't want to be involved. Do you think that that's the right thing to say because you're Christian?
No, Christians should be involved in the public square. They should be salt and light. They should be engaged in the public discussion, not just quarantined off to one area.
And what about Arabs?
Look,
Because they could say like, oh, okay, these are my people. Listen, I
look,
understand.
they're entitled to their opinion, but it just seems as if they're taking over every European country right now, and it's very disturbing.
And should we fight back?
I think we should say we should absolutely dramatically restrict immigration. Yes.
I hope there was going to be some kind of disagreement, but
No, sir.
I agree with you.
Thank you. I'll give you a hat.
Thank you.
Hey, Charlie. I just got a question regarding the drug problem within the U.S. What's like a legitimate fix to this?
Which drug problem specifically?
I think anything. Heroin. I think marijuana is being already legalized, being fine. When it comes to like fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, because the prohibition method we've been taking isn't really working out. But we can't really just let anyone.
We first need to close the southern border. That's
of
number
course.
one. We need to have death penalty for drug dealers. That's number two. And we need to have much harsher penalties for anyone that is involved in the trafficking of drugs. And then we have to go after the actual supply, which is the Mexican drug cartels.
I think that's true, but isn't that taking like a alcohol prohibition type method where that won't
It
really
worked. Alcohol prohibition worked in one way. Alcohol usage went down.
But there was still mass
So
gangs from like
what
mafia.
was the problem with alcohol prohibition? Tell me.
The major gangs that came up during Chicago and New
Yeah,
York.
there was some bootlegging, but actually crime went down across the country.
Okay.
You can look at it. I'm not all for like banning alcohol, but there's a lot of lies about prohibition that are told. But also, let's just stop acting as if heroin and alcohol are on the same level. Heroin's way
of
worse,
course not.
right?
No,
Meth
not
is
that.
way worse. Fentanyl's way worse.
Of course.
But yeah, I think we have to be more serious about what actually creates the cascade of effects of people that want to be able to use these
agree.
horrific drugs.
Yeah, I just want to is there like a plan we could go down to fix
Yeah,
this
I think
side?
President Trump's doing the right thing. Secure the southern border, heavy penalties for drug traffickers, and going after the source of where all the drugs are coming from origination. So, Thank you very much. Great question. Thank you.
We have class. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I get a hat?
Yeah.